a Toronto apartment selling at cost? A 5% discount? A 20% price slash? What is actually happening to the Canadian real estate? Are we heading towards a crash, or has the crash happened already? So recently I've been talking to a couple of friends who were thinking about moving back to Canada, and they were all inquiring about home prices. So what I did was went on the official listings website and checked on properties being listed, how much they were selling for, and I was looking at the pricing index and the buy-sell ratio to see if we're entering a buyer or seller market. Now, a month ago, I actually made a video right here where I talked about the real estate market post-COVID-19, and I mentioned that we'll probably see a downturn in the housing market. But from checking out the listing sites and different data, I couldn't really see too much price change. And I thought it's maybe either it hasn't happened yet, or maybe the impact of COVID-19 wasn't as big as I thought. But when I was browsing through my social media, I noticed a lot of realtors were posting about selling their clients' pre-sale units to other people, offering either a cost or much below their purchase price. And that really got me curious. So I asked my personal realtor, and she told me that pre-sale actually cannot be listed on the official listing websites. So you would have to go to places like Craigslist or Kijiji or other private listing websites to check them out. And that's what I did. And the results were shocking. Just a quick search on Kijiji and Craigslist would show me thousands of listings across Vancouver and Toronto, all selling pre-sale assignments, and most of them were selling below their purchase price. Now, if you already know what pre-sale is, click ahead to this time below because I'm going to take the next 60 seconds to explain what a pre-sale is for the people that don't know. Alright, so basically what a pre-sale is the same idea as if you're pre-ordering a product that hasn't been built yet. When a developer wants to build an apartment to sell it to people, they usually don't have the enormous capital to get this done, and the bank don't want to lend them all the money without a guarantee that they can actually sell the units. So a very common and smart way to get the funding they need would be to sell pre-sale to people that are looking to own their home in a couple years. That way they can get the collection upfront and also guarantee their sales before they even build something. So usually when you buy pre-sales, you would slowly put down more and more deposits over the next 18 months, up to 20 or 25% depending on the developer. And in 3 to 4 years, the apartment will be expected to finish. Then you would come up with the rest of the money, usually by getting a mortgage with the bank and complete your purchase. Now this works perfectly for the developer and the buyer because the developer can get the capital upfront and guarantee their sales, while the buyers may not be ready to move in right away and can let them have the next couple of years to slowly accumulate deposits and work on the financing to make sure they can get ready for the mortgage. Alright, so that's basically what a pre-sale is. Now, there are two major groups of people who would like to buy a pre-sale. One would be actual buyers who want to move in when it's completed. And second are people who are looking to flip their pre-sale. So when you purchase a pre-sale, you're actually buying a contract or what we call an assignment to your unit. If the demands are high and there are a lot of people looking for these pre-sale units, what investors can do is take their own assignment and resell it to other people at a higher price. This is what we call a reassignment. This is the same idea as buying your own house and then flipping it to other people, except this works even better. Because when you flip an assignment, you don't actually have to think about how to come up with 100% of the money. You only have to pay the deposit required, and if the developer allows you, you can start selling to other people already. A few years ago when the demand were extremely high in Vancouver and Toronto, people were lining up and camping outside just so they could have a chance to get the assignments. You could probably flip it already and sell it at a profit before you even have to pay your next deposits. Now, no matter if you're buying it for yourself or you're flipping it, you would always pay attention to one date, and that's the completion date, where you have to come up with the rest of the money to complete the sales. And here lies the main problem. Because of how hot the real estate market has been for the last couple of years, there were a lot of pre-sales that started. I did a quick search in Google for pre-sale units completing in Toronto or Vancouver in 2020, and a quick browse on private real estate websites showed me that over 120 projects of townhouse and apartments in Vancouver or Toronto were listed to complete in 2020. Usually this is not too much of a problem, and this is where COVID-19 really screwed things up. It brought down three things. One, jobs were lost, so the amount of people able to get their mortgage to complete now have significantly reduced. Two, the market crashed, so the funds available to use also significantly reduced. And 3, due to quarantine, essentially all real estate activities have dropped significantly. All 3 have created a perfect storm for the invisible pre-sale crash that is happening right now. So do you agree that the pre-sale market might be going into a collapse? Let me know in the comment below. So what does this all mean? Well, number 1, we're probably going to see a lot of people have difficulties completing their pre-sale that they purchased a couple years ago. So if you can't complete it, then basically all your deposits you put in before will be lost. So that's why you're seeing such a huge discount on listing websites right now, just people trying to get rid of it before the completion date comes. And this is the result of many years of high demand and low supply, where it pushed people to keep buying and selling, driving up the land value and the building value until we get hit by unforeseen circumstances like a pandemic. And a lot of people now are stuck with an expensive unit they cannot get rid of. So if you're in the market looking to buy a pre-sale right now, you might be able to find some really good deals from people trying to get rid of their pre-sale. However, before you go out and look for your pre-sale, there are things you need to pay attention to. Number 1 is when you complete on your pre-sale, you need to pay GST on it, which is 5% of your purchase price. Number 2 is because pre-sale is in the future, there is no guarantee that your situation will still be the same at that time. So there is no guarantee you can actually get your mortgage. So this one you have to be very careful about. Number 3, it's very common to see developers delaying completion of your pre-sale. Typically, the delay is 3 months all the way to 12 months. So there might be gaps where you expected it to complete, but there is a delay. And now you have to go out and rent a property just for the time being. Number 4 is at the end of the day, the building is not done. So during the building process, there might be issues coming up anywhere from construction problem or financing problem that will prevent the project from finished building. So this is why before you buy a pre-sale, you need to do your research, pick a developer that is reputable and reliable and have a good track record of completing the projects. And most importantly is pick a realtor who can give you honest advice and work with you and represent you in buying your pre-sale. Now, a hot tip I can give you is you do not want one agent to represent both the buyer and the seller side, because that's a direct conflict of interest. You're much better off to have a realtor to represent just you and another realtor to represent the seller side. That way you can make sure you can get the most fair treatment. Now, if you're looking to pick up cheap pre-sale to flip it in the future, there are more tax complications involved than just buying and selling a house. Make sure you talk to your accountant about this to understand all the rules involved. And if you're interested in real estate investing, you can also check out a video right here where I did a case study on how we're able to generate positive return for our client using real estate investing during the market crash. And lastly, if you're really wondering about the future trend of Canadian real estate, make sure you check out the video I listed right here. Alright, this is Jackie Cope. I hope you found this interesting. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.